What's going on, everyone? You guys know why I'm doing this video. The headline is misinformative. Don't be surprised because it's Clickbaits guy. Like I said, he can never give you that type of headline. He jumped the gun on this one and he's wrong, so we're gonna have to correct him. He says Phil Spencer quits Xbox. You know what I find funny about that is that you're never gonna see that headline anywhere. It said that he could be retiring at the end of the generation, right? That's what it was supposed to say. I've got the truth on that. I'm glad I waited too. But here he's promoting this, and we got 21,358 views right here, 1,300 likes. It's about time. Should have happened 8 years ago. Xbox is pulling a Sega Y2K. He was fired. He didn't quit. What? This is funny. That's why we need to read this real quick before we get to the video. Long overdue. He needed to go years ago. Once they get a yacht, they don't care. Goodbye, Phil. See you never. He is not retiring. He was probably fired. Scan Pass is the reason why Xbox is failing miserably. Xbox without Phil Spencer makes me wonder what's going to happen to Game Pass. Clearly, Phil Spencer was protected, even though he was terrible at his job and probably destroyed Xbox for good. I never believed in Game Pass and didn't go beyond Xbox Core. Phil was asked to leave. He isn't retiring. He was forced out. Okay, so we see everyone saying this, which I kind of find weird, and none of this is actually happening. So, are we ready? Okay. So over here, I found an article, and it clarified something by asking, Phil Spencer isn't retiring as the chief of Xbox anytime soon. No, but he's going to be preparing more layoffs. But anyways, yeah, no, it's not funny. Spencer has headed up Microsoft's Xbox efforts since 2014, basically the Xbox One era, which was terrible. So we have our answer on this right here, right? Let's just go down so we can get this out the way. Then we're going to look at what he said. Microsoft says that Phil Spencer, Microsoft Gaming CEO and the head of Xbox, isn't retiring anytime soon. The company has responded to rumors of Spencer's retirement. That's it right there. Everything is said right there. We don't even need to continue. But isn't retiring anytime soon. The company has responded. The company actually responded to that. They responded very quick, so that says something. Spencer's retirement, which have spread online today following Microsoft's major layoffs. This video is not about that, but this is about Phil Spencer. Okay, Phil is not retiring anytime soon. See? Says Kari Perez, head of Xbox Communications, in a statement to The Verge. The denial comes after the Call of Duty leaker, Ghost of Hope, claimed this guy right here. Phil Spencer will be retiring from his role as CEO of Microsoft Gaming after the launch of next generation Xbox. Phil Spencer is working closely with Sarah Bond and her team to ensure a smooth transition for her takeover. See, this right here is the type of people I do not like, because it's like, what are you doing? Xbox has directly addressed this tweet and says Phil Spencer has no plans to retire. You have people coming in liking this like this too. This dude said, please don't be trolling. He's working hard to, take over as CEO of Microsoft Gaming once he retires. Unclear as of yet who would take over as president of Xbox when Sarah Bond becomes the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. This is all a load of bullcrap. None of this is true. So I don't know why somebody would go do this to get people riled up and get all this stuff going. See, like that's what I'm saying. I don't like people like this because that's exactly what that does, and it's just bad. Yeah, and nobody here really knew at the time. But yeah, that's where that came from, by the way. So, Ghost to Hope claimed Phil Spencer will be retiring from his role as CEO of Microsoft Gaming after the launch of the next generation Xbox, and that Xbox President Sarah Bond will be taking over as CEO of Microsoft Gaming. While Microsoft's comment doesn't address the rumor fully, it makes it clear Spencer isn't retiring imminently. Separately, Microsoft Communications Chief Frank Shaw took to X to claim that at least part of the rumor was made up. Yeah, that's why you got to wait on real information. You guys know me. I'm big on misinformation. I do not like that stuff. And if you make a mistake, go correct yourself. But the rest of this will just be talking about other stuff we're going to talk about in another video. So let's go to him here. We ready now?
Hey there, gamers. DreamcastGuy here. Today we're talking a bit more about the Xbox bloodbath, because I just made a video about the fact that they're canceling all their games. Everwild, Rare is basically being gutted. They've shut down multiple studios. They're killing Perfect Dark. But on top of this, it just came out about 10 minutes ago that Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox and Microsoft Gaming, he's quitting. He's retiring.
Oh man, that is funny. No.
He's going off into the sunset and probably getting like a $20 million bonus for all of his
When that does happen, yeah, they get that, but that's not happening right now.
hard work. Now, people have been watching this channel for a while knows that I made multiple videos specifically calling for the firing of Phil Spencer. I think this guy is straight up just
Over a year plus ago, 31,000 views. Okay.
a liar. I mean, he has made so many empty promises, so many things that just never came out. Here's Crackdown 4. Oh, where's Scalebound? Where's everything that he's constantly talked about? But the worst part about this is that I truly believe in my heart of hearts, all of this failure, all of the bad business is squarely on the shoulders of Phil Spencer. And I feel like the fact that this man took over in 2014. Think about the last 11 years of Xbox. It has literally been the worst ever for Xbox, and in a lot of ways for gaming in general. But let's talk about his statement. Let's talk about when he's quitting and why I honestly feel like the guy should just get kicked out now and no bonus. Just
Because he's not easy to replace, and dealing with that crazy train at Microsoft, it's not what you think, man. As I told people before, yeah, I understand what he's saying, but if you try to replace him, it's not going to get better like you think. It's not going to work because it's already too far gone to where it's at now. You know what I mean? To recover and think certain things are going to get like resurrected and it's back to the 360 era. It's sounding like that's like, no, dude. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can do now. What's left over now? Steam. That's about it with PCs. You know, after that, it's like, you know, there's only so much you can do. So there's only so much blame Phil can get, but I understand what he's saying. Definitely after what happened today. So, like I said, I don't hate Phil Spencer or anything, but I hate the sin of that, of the layoffs and all that other crap. It's just human compassion. But yeah, still though, Phil Spencer quits Xbox. I mean, dude, come on. He didn't even bother to go back 7 hours later to change his damn title. Which you could edit your title, by the way, Dreamcast guy. You know what I mean? Because why you're not doing that? Just update. You know what I mean? You know, not happy, something, but no, just leave it there because that's what he wants. He wants this to happen, and a lot of people do. I understand. You know what I mean? But the point is that the reality is that it's not happening right now. But you could tell subconsciously he really wants this emotionally. Like it's surfacing up. Funny stuff.
get out. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Here it is. Phil Spencer will allegedly retire as CEO after the next console launch. Now, there have been a couple leaks about the fact that the next Xbox is actually coming out here in maybe the next 16 months, as really soon as that seems. But the talk is that Xbox has this idea to sort of, maybe rush isn't the right word, but rush out the next gen system. That right now the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro they're the best place to play for consoles. If you're trying to get graphics, if you're trying to get exclusives, the PS5 is top notch. So,
bro, Nintendo is superior when it comes to exclusives. They just started, but guess what? They're going to be having consistent exclusives dropping before the end of the year. A ton of them, but they already dropped this year. Sony canceled too many, man. No. And that will only get better. But I know what he means about, like, if you're talking about third-party money having a balance, it's an open third-party platform. Yeah, I mean, you know, the PlayStation ecosystem, I mean, they now have all Xbox games. They have their exclusives. They're never going to bend the knee and say, hey, day and date on Xbox and day and date with single-player games on PC. No, you're still going to have to wait, no matter what. It's always going to be timed and money-headed deals. And then their services that they got going on over there, and then their continued partnership and making their ecosystem better. It's already healthy. I can understand that being a sort of attraction for the same type of crowd. It's kind of like on Xbox and PC, but just with a bigger population on PlayStation compared to Xbox. Whereas Nintendo's ecosystem, yeah, of course, the demographic can be a little bit different as far as like what type of games you want to play and engage in. But if you're a gamer, you have both. You know what I mean? And then you have Xbox on PC, like I do, to play my games at max settings with my one of my favorite Xbox controllers. It's right here. This one. That's what I use. I mean, you can also use the PlayStation controller if you want to as well, but I mean, I don't know. I just prefer the Xbox controller in that sense.
The talk is that essentially Xbox has this idea to try and get the next Xbox out before the PlayStation 6. They're very intimidated by the fact.
If it's a PC, it's not going to matter. And if people like don't want to buy it, they're still not going to buy it. It just depends. I think it's going to be a luxury product. It's not going to affect Sony because it'll be the same thing over and over again. Their sales, Microsoft sales can only reach a certain limit just because it's just the way the world works, whether Sony releases next door or not. And then when Sony comes out, they're still going to sell the way they sell. They'll pass them up that year. You know what I mean? Even if it's a year later. That's just the way shit works. You know what I mean? So that doesn't matter. Like I said, it's not going to affect Sony. All that's why I think that mentality is the people that are still trying to project as if like Microsoft's about to get ahead and they're gonna. I was like, dude, that shit is over with, man. Wake up. You know what I mean? It's not happening. That's why I say that to me is not reality. It doesn't matter. It will only matter if that's what they wanted to do for themselves, but it's not going to hurt Sony and it's not going to affect Nintendo, and it will just only benefit PC gamers getting that stuff at that time. You know what I mean? But other than that, outside of it, like I said, it's a very small percentage of the gaming community. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I if you take the WWE, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't. Just being real.
That the PlayStation 6 is already in full-blown development. So they're trying to get it out by like winter of 2026 or spring of 2027. So it sounds like he's trying to just get that shoved out and then retire with a golden parachute. Phil Spencer will be retiring from his role as CEO of Microsoft's gaming after the...
So yeah, we just went over this. That's not happening. That's why I went to that first to cover it, so that we could get to this.
launch of the next-gen Xbox. Phil Spencer is working closely with Sarah Bond and her team to ensure a smooth transition for her to take over as CEO of Microsoft Gaming. It's unclear yet as who's going to take over as president of Xbox, which is Sarah's current job, when she becomes the CEO. Now,
I mean, that could be possible. Never know with them, though.
A lot of people are like, bro, are you trolling? Look, it's pretty obvious that when Sarah Bond takes over, this is purely going to be a PC company. But I do want to quickly mention the fact that it is interesting that people, even in the last couple weeks, were trying to claim that everything is about to be great. Xbox has turned a corner. The future of Microsoft's gaming platform once again looks incredibly bright. This is an article from June 18th, 2025. Literally 2.5 weeks ago. People are out there trying to hype things up. Xbox is doing great. Please pack your things. This is basically the messaging right now from Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer has been posting statements inside of Microsoft's chats and stuff where he's basically like, you guys did so good. The whole brand is so fantastic. Pack up. Get out. And a lot of people are annoyed, specifically because it shows about the fact that Game Pass was an experiment that just didn't work. I was looking forward to...
No, because if it did, it would be able to sustain itself on Xbox, like Sony's doing with PlayStation Plus only on the PlayStation system, and that shit's making just as much money as Game Pass. And it's only there. It's not even on PC or on mobile, all over the place, right? And they didn't spend 100-something billion to massively pump into it and have first-party games there day one. For Sony still to make the same money as you, and you have it on PC? And then now you got to branch out and put it everywhere because you're not making that money back, and you have to go massive third party because the system is not working. Yeah, that's reality. That's what I've been telling people. It's only like 4% of the gaming community, but what is required to even function to that is not worth it. And I think anybody in their right mind thinks the same thing. Even the Daily was like, yeah, massive third party publishing, please. None of them like it because it doesn't generate massive profit on its own. That means it can't function. You need to get life support on PlayStation and then on Nintendo and then on PC to keep that going, whilst taking money from the corporation outside of the gaming pool and say, give me billions and billions more. I need another 50 billion. I need 69 billion. Hey, yeah, please from outside again. That's just what are you doing? You see what I mean? If you think about that in your head, what the hell is that? It's insanity. Nobody else in the world does this. They're the only company doing this. That's why I say they have to grab so much money. It's almost like they would put you in deep debt if this was reality. But because they have so much money, they're allowing them to do that because they're going to find ways to make up. That's why they go and do the layoffs. Dude, just look, that's why. You see what I mean? All to try to sustain this. It's not working, and it's not worth it. And I say that even loving the benefits that I get from their service, but I know exactly what it's doing, though, in reality, outside of that. Looking at the bigger picture, you see what I mean? Am I just somebody in a little room getting a little personal benefit, getting mad? It's like, dude, but still, we have to speak the truth, though. You know what I mean? It's like, well, what, you want a personal benefit over the truth and screwing over everybody else? Yeah, then I don't know what to say, but it's very true. Same thing with Nintendo, only on their ecosystem, not a single game on there, but it's profitable. And it's smart, and it's reasonable, and it's entry level as well. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it's not what you think it is, reality. Like, how things are really, really, really working outside of, like, the benefit that you're getting. You just look outside of that.
Perfect Dark, I genuinely blame pushing Game Pass down people's throats. It just doesn't work. Might get hate for it, but it's true. I want to own my games. Now, there have been a lot of interesting talks, both public and private, but stuff that all kind of came out that very much so. The entire bet, the big gamble specifically that Phil Spencer made, Phil Spencer was completely a devout believer in Game Pass. He straight up
yeah, he wanted to try to push them for Netflix. I don't see it necessarily being a bad thing to try that, but it's just that when they kept on over dumping on it, and it's just like, but I thought if you were going to do that, the developers would be better with you, but not making stuff AI slop like a Valve and all that. It just passes so fast, it's like you forget about it. You know what I mean? It's not even memorable or soulful. It's just mid. All of it. So yeah, it's like you destroyed your market to promote Game Pass, but then Game Pass became the sinkhole. Then that made you do even more layoffs and all that. Then you monopolized to try to make Game Pass stronger. That didn't work. Spend all that damn money. And now you got to branch out to be a third-party publisher because none of that works. You don't have a market anymore. You already killed it. You told everybody to go on Game Pass, but then that's not beneficial for you. So you have to go to PlayStation, all these other platforms, and put it everywhere to hope to get the profit. You see what I mean? Nothing that they do can grow. It's all death and destruction in their wake. I already know what that is in the spirit, but anyways, getting back to this.
Tons of meetings that ended up leaking. He basically was like, look, we could sell a game for $50 or $60, but what if instead we got every single person to just subscribe to Game Pass instead of trying to get a bunch of people to buy this game or that game, instead of trying to buy this or that, get everybody to pay into a platform permanently, and then we get instant perpetual revenue for all time.
All based around things and not owning anything, removing physical preservation in the process. See what I mean? All that profit, but no soul. All that money, but no soul. You see it? So that's why I tell people, stop being hypocrites. And this all comes out in front of people's face so they can see reality. Because they were trying to mislead you this whole time to believe that they were pro-consumer. Right? We were all making those videos, you see what I mean? And what did they do again today? You see what I mean? This is what I mean by, like, they're dumping on you. And then you keep on bootlicking. Like, it's like, no. You see? Stand up for yourself and rebel against them. It's not going to ruin your damn Xbox gaming experience. This is what I mean by, like, these people, too. These people that are leaving, too. Oh, yeah, as you leave, I'll replace you, too. We're better people. It doesn't bother me. Because years down the line, I mean, I'm going to keep on rising. You know what I mean? I ain't worried about that type of stuff because I'm going to stay being real, too. And I want people around me that are going to like that. You know what I mean? Not people that just want to be fanboys and ass kiss and bootlick. You want me to trash another platform and dump on other human beings, but I can't do anything against Microsoft. I was like, no, man, I don't want that. I don't want to build something like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather build things where it's a platform where no matter what platform I go to, I can have conversations with people. We can have a good time, even though I can criticize those companies. But I'm not criticizing them. I'm criticizing the corporations. You see what I mean? So yeah, those type of people, yeah, they can leave. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, no, I don't like that anyways. Because we're all supposed to be about, the content creators, the community, the gamers, and all that, not getting mad at somebody because they want to call out a corporation. What the hell does it have to do with your personal life? And that's what I mean by like these people are brainwashed and they need to wake up. Because you're getting mad over inhuman behavior and people who want to project human behavior and have human compassion. You know what I mean? And when I go against that type of stuff and call it out and have the courage to do that. And then it may even lose a couple of subs like me myself, but like I said, I'll get that back. But I'm still being real, and this is way more valuable than me being some corporate bootleg sellout for a couple more numbers on the screen. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, we got a soul over here, and it's very bright, like the sun. We don't sell out. That's why we don't like that stuff. I told y'all when you first met me, I came to defend the Xbox community. I did my job. I never said I'm coming here to back up Microsoft. Get out of here. Yeah, you don't see that happening. Yeah, exactly. I did exactly what I said, and I don't owe anybody anything. What do I owe you? Nothing. And I didn't ask you for anything either. I did it for free. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, all those other people, it's like you just brainwashed to me, and that's what I see. Hmm. Yeah, Master of Puppets, Metallica. All right, y'all. Have a great day.